Okay, picture this. You're navigating a busy city sidewalk. Maybe you've got a coffee in one hand, your dog's leash in the other. A bus rumbles by, a cyclist zips past, and your dog suddenly lunges for, I don't know, a dropped French fry. That thin line in your hand, that's everything. It's all that stands between total control and, well, chaos. And that's exactly why we're going to get into this. Because choosing the right dog leash in a city is way more critical than you might think.
You've been there, right? We've all been there. Getting tangled up, feeling like you're trying to fly a kite in a hurricane instead of just enjoying a walk. So, is your leash actually helping you, or is it just adding to the stress of city life?
So here's the big idea. We need to stop thinking of a leash as just some rope. It's not. It's a line of trust, it's a tool for safety, and it's pretty much the main way you and your dog navigate the world together. And in this explainer, we're going to find the perfect one for your specific needs. All right, first things first. Using a leash isn't just a good idea or a suggestion. It's a fundamental part of being a responsible pet owner, especially when we're all sharing these public spaces. It's about safety, it's about courtesy, and yep, it's also the law. And believe me, it's a law with some serious teeth. Here in Singapore, if you don't leash your dog in public, you could be looking at a fine of up to $5,000. That number alone should tell you just how seriously this is taken, and honestly, for very good reason. But let's move beyond a fine for a second and just look at the practical side of things. This slide breaks it down perfectly. First off, that top point about speed is wild. A startled dog can hit 32 kilometers an hour. The average person? Maybe 9. A leash literally bridges that speed gap. It stops them from getting lost or worse, darting into traffic. Of course, it also prevents those less than ideal moments, like a surprise dive into a mud puddle. And most importantly, it keeps everyone safe, your dog, you, other people, and it's just a simple act of respect for those around you who might be nervous around dogs. All right, so now that we've nailed down the why, let's get into the what. See, not all leashes are created equal, and the right one for you really depends on 3 things: you, your dog, and your environment. The classic debate. Look, retractable leashes can be great in the right place. Think open spaces, a quiet park connector, where your dog can have a bit more room to sniff around. But in a crowded HDB corridor or near a busy road, they can be downright dangerous. You just have too much slack when you need instant control. So for most of our city walking, a simple fixed-length leash is going to be your safest and most reliable bet. Now let's talk about the specialists. A traffic leash is basically a super short lead that keeps your dog right there, by your side. Think of it as your go-to tool for high-density zones. You know, getting out of the lift, navigating a crowded MRT exit, or walking past an outdoor cafe. It's all about that close, immediate control. No question. And here is a perfect example of how leashes have really adapted to our lives. The hands-free leash is an absolute game changer for joggers who want to keep a natural rhythm, or really for anyone who's ever tried to juggle a phone, groceries, and a dog at the same time. It just lets you and your dog move together completely in sync. But before we pick one, a quick word of warning. The wrong leash isn't just an inconvenience, it's a real hazard. A weak clip can snap at the absolute worst moment, like right near a busy road. A thin rope can give you a nasty burn if your dog pulls suddenly. And some leashes, believe it or not, can actually encourage your dog to pull, turning every walk into a constant battle. So how do we get it right? Well, it's not about finding the one best leash on the market. It's about finding the best leash for you. And we can break it all down with a super simple 3-step check. Okay, it basically comes down to this. First, be totally honest about your dog. Is she a strong puller? Then she needs a heavy-duty leash, probably with a padded handle, not some thin nylon one. Second, where are you walking most of the time? The needs for a daily HDB walk are completely different from a weekend run along a park connector. And finally, what do you do on these walks? Your lifestyle is really what dictates the features you'll need. And here's a little cheat sheet to put it all together. For your everyday HDB walks, a standard fixed leash is perfect. Hitting the PCN for a run? Go hands-free for sure. Navigating the busy city center? A short traffic leash will give you so much peace of mind. And hey, if you've got a powerful dog that pulls, invest in that heavy-duty leash. Your hands and your shoulders will definitely thank you later. Okay, here is a pro tip, and this one is so important for our climate. The material really, really matters. With Singapore's humidity and those sudden downpours, a regular cotton or leather leash can get smelly and just fall apart pretty quickly.
You want to look for waterproof materials like coated webbing and make sure the hardware, the clip and all that, won't rust. It'll last so much longer and be way easier to clean.
So, as we start to wrap this up, let's just circle back to that main idea we started with. Because the leash is so much more than just a piece of equipment.
Choosing the right one is a real investment. It's an investment in safety, yeah, but also in communication, and in making that daily ritual of the walk something you both actually enjoy. It really can transform a daily chore into a genuine moment of connection. And I just want to leave you with this thought. The leash isn't really about restriction, it's about partnership. It's that quiet, steady connection that lets you and your best friend confidently navigate the pulse of city life side by side. So what does your leash say about your journey together?